Good afternoon.
Welcome to Strictly Sports.
My name is Boyce.
I'm Spencer, and we're your weekly destination for some true sports content.
So let's get into it.
Yeah, we're just going to, right off the bat, we're just going to say it. Screw Josh McDaniels.
The rivalry is back.
Screw him. Who does that?
It was bad. It was really bad.
Like,
it was, it's childish. He's a snake. I mean, it's the most Patriots thing he could have done. It's horrible. I'm not happy. Nobody's happy about it. And, I mean, it's just immature. It's selfish.
What's wrong with you? Like,
I mean,
do you really want to get yelled at by Bill Belichick more? Like, is that what he wants with his life?
I mean, you saw the fights between him and Brady on the sideline, mid-season. I mean, over...
He's the Kevin Love of the Patriots. Like, Bill Belichick's going to get mad at him. Tom Brady's going to get mad at him.
Yeah, and then there he is. And, I mean...
And now he can't go anywhere except New England. Nobody wants to hire him.
His career is over in the NFL. Outside of New England. New England is the only place he has a job left, and he'll ever have a job. Like, it's horrible. horrible. But, they... I mean, I get the reasoning behind him wanting to stay. I do. I mean, he has a Brady. He has a Belichick. He has a stable roster. He has a less loopy and a better owner.
Less loopy.
But the fact is, though, is that, like, he had already committed. He had verbally committed. They had agreed on contract terms.
Assistant coaches had signed.
Assistant coaches he had wanted and had been brought, and they had already signed pen to paper, and they were ready. They were ready to become the next, defensive coordinator, like Dan. Everybody say his last name from the Cowboys, and so we have a new defensive coordinator now that was supposed to be there with McDaniels because he was going to be the head coach, and now he's gone. I mean, he just Twitter announcement, big fat Twitter announcement, sources everywhere. Adam Schefter tweeted about it saying, sources say Josh McDaniels post Super Bowl will be accepting the head coaching.
They announced a press conference. It's supposed to be a press conference today.
Press conference today, and there was a press conference today, but it wasn't
Chris
about
Ballard spouting off.
Yeah, it was Chris Ballard. Just rekindling, all the indie reporters about what really,
They probably already had the room all set up and everything. They were like, well, that's a waste of time.
Yeah, I know.
So, all right, I'll go down there and talk.
Yeah, I mean, the press conference was ready. It was set, and then last second, he gets cold feet and makes the most selfish and slimy move you could have in that situation. He backs out. Like, it's unreal. So
as if Colts fans haven't been through enough in the past, 5 years. First, we signed what we thought was a super team when we got Andre Johnson and Frank Gore. We thought we were going to win a Super Bowl.
Trent Cole.
And we traded a first-round pick for Trent Richardson, and we thought, we were like, oh, Trent Richardson's going to be awesome. Trent Richardson was so bad.
The Alabama prodigy. But yeah, we've been through enough. And Robert Kraft, I guess, is not done. I mean, you've seen what the moves Ballard has done. I mean, they were all about just mending the fence between the Patriots organization and the Colts organization after Deflategate. Because after Deflategate, man, really pissed Robert Kraft and the Patriots off.
Robert Kraft just pooped on that fence, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
screw that fence.
We traded Dwayne Allen. We traded Philip Dorsett. We traded for Jacoby Brissett. I mean, we had tried to rekindle.
I think he's mad that we screwed them with giving them Dwayne Allen and Philip Dorsett. He realized how bad they were.
I mean, I thought Dwayne Allen would be more than what he was. I mean, after what Martellus Bennett did there, and granted, they have Gronk, and nobody's going to start over Gronk, but
Gronk's only going to play 9 games.
Yeah, and Gronk has an injury concern.
He's going to get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. And at the same time, though, even when last season when they won the Super Bowl, when they won the Super Bowl last season with Gronk and Marty B, they ran a lot of 2 tight end sets. It was like a new game plan they had made, and they knew what they were doing. The reason they signed Martellus Bennett was because they had a plan, to run these 2 tight ends a lot. And then you lose Gronk, and you only have 1 tight end, which Martellus Bennett in a Patriots system is a very good tight end. So there they are. They moved back to what they originally had, and they just ran a 1 tight end set most of the time, and they just kept going to their dink and duck, 5-yard in routes, and it was working, and they won a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But I thought Dwayne Allen with his run blocking abilities. I mean, Belichick in the past, way before that trade had ever come up or happened, he had given mention to how he really thought Dwayne Allen was an astute run blocker, and he was a very solid tight end. And
I honestly thought when we had to kind of make the choice between either Dwayne Allen and Coby Fleener, I did not want us to pick Coby Fleener. I was glad that he's gone.
Yeah, I was very
because Coby Fleener would be wide open down the field and just drop the pass.
Yeah,
I had seen him do that so many times.
And when he went to New Orleans, everybody thought he's got the figure, he's got the size and the figure.
He can run.
Jimmy Graham.
He's
he
fast.
He can certainly run. And everybody thought that system with and how Drew Brees built his so many.
Drew Brees is
years.
going to put it right in your hands. He's the most accurate quarterback.
He's a phenomenal quarterback, and he's a pocket passer. And
he's going to put the ball
that
right
offense is
in
about
your
throwing
hands.
the ball. So like everybody thought. I mean, I remember fantasy drafts coming up, and like everybody's ranking Dwayne Allen or not Dwayne Allen, Kobe Fleener as big targets at the tight end position because he was. I mean, all the time and years that they had done with Jimmy Graham in Seattle and all the amazing, touchdowns they'd scored. It was perfect. It was set up. I mean, not saying Kobe Fleener is Jimmy Graham by any means, but he had the size and the build, and he was the big tight end that they had traded to the Seahawks for their center Max Unger.
But the one thing you want in a tight end is you want him to be sure-handed. The best tight ends in history like Antonio Gates, Jason Witten, Gronk.
Tony Gonzalez.
You throw them the ball and they catch it. Like that was you.
Yeah,
they're open.
It's a safety.
You could trust them to not drop it.
Talk about
Jason Witten is the most if you put it close to him, he can catch it.
Exactly.
But Kobe Fleener is he's going to drop the ball all the time.
Exactly.
That was what killed him.
And he did not have the hands or the coordination to do it. I mean, there were so many moments in from his time at the Colts where he would just be completely just naked open downfield and luck would send him up perfectly.
He pulled a Tom Brady and it would just go right out.
Yeah, he pulled a Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. I mean, that's what he did. I mean.
Yeah, but back to the.
All right.
So back to the Super Bowl. We went off about Kobe Fleener a little bit because he.
Angry Colts fans.
We got a lot to be angry about.
We do. It's been a rough past
for all the years that we demanded that Gregson and Pagano be fired, and then
we got it, and now here we are.
And then Irsay was like, I kind of like Gregson.
Ballard and no head coach, and just still getting screwed over by the Pats. So
screw those guys. Man.
Angry history. Yeah.
If you don't be mad at us for Deflategate. You guys are the ones that cheated.
Yeah. All right. I get the frustration for us title tailing because. You beat
us 45-7. You wanted to feel better about it.
Deflated balls are inflated balls. Like we're still gonna get destroyed that game. That's not what
we were losing that game no matter what.
But the fact is, though, yeah, exactly. Like the fact is that they still cheat, and they have a history of cheating. They just think just because they're Patriots, and the way the refs always just succumb just to the
AFC Championship game. The Jags, if the game had been ref fairly, the Jags would have won that game.
It was unreal.
Wasn't there one penalty called against the Patriots the whole game?
It was horrible. It was miserable how bad that game. And the ref, the very first person to congratulate Tom Brady on making it to another Super Bowl,
he said, "All right,
was the referee himself." He was right there, and the touchdown they scored, with the refs in the middle of this big mosh pit of the offense, and they're all dancing and jumping and stuff. The ref was in the middle of that, jumping around, celebrating a touchdown with them. How unprofessional is that? It's horrible. Anyway, we hate the Patriots, and they screwed us.
Hate them a lot.
But you know what? I think there's a bright side to this. When this whole head coaching search started, there's a lot of candidates to open up right away, and it wasn't, a lot of those other head coaching jobs that were filled in this year were
Frank Reach, please. That's what we're getting to right now.
I'm looking for Frank. I mean,
we want him.
Yeah, make the right decision.
You had your time in Philly. You wanted a championship there. You got to go get one for yourself, man.
And look at what he's done with Carson Wentz. I mean, Carson Wentz came to this league as a rookie, and neither Goff or him were two superb or amazing candidates.
They were
coming
both,
out of the draft.
Yeah.
They were both. I think Goff was more sure. He was more of a sure pick. You knew more what you were getting with him.
Wentz was more hit or miss. He was either
Wentz
be really
was
good
more
or
boom
just
bust.
Yeah.
And Frank Reich and the offensive coordinator and Doug Peterson and that Eagles. I mean, Frank Reich kind of led the horn, the charge on making Carson Wentz into the MVP that he should have been this year. And so I think about Andrew Luck, and he's coming off this bad injury right now. And Andrew Luck was a phenomenal candidate coming out of,
he was without a doubt number one pick. He was looked at like a generational talent.
Yeah, he's a generational talent, exactly. Yeah. And Carson Wentz wasn't that, but now look at him. He's phenomenal. I would currently right now, if I'm going to rank quarterbacks, I'm putting Wentz one step ahead of Luck simply because Luck does not have this shoulder thing. But Wentz was not that without Frank Reich and his brilliance. So if we could get Frank Reich to the Colts as our head coach, that's my personal,
Same. I gotta go because I don't. As much as I think Dave Tube is a good coach.
Yeah, and Dave Tube. Yeah.
We don't want He's been coaching special teams
coach. Yeah,
exactly.
And I don't know how. I don't feel comfortable having a special teams.
Special teams coaches have 4 plays.
Yeah. Yeah.
5, 6 plays maybe field goal block, field goal kick, punt block, punt, and kickoff and kick return.
Exactly. I don't think you can put which again is something to kind of be similar with Frank Reich, but he was an offensive coordinator, and that's different.
Yeah,
that's different than a special teams coach. And Frank Reich has never had a head coaching job, but he has the mentality and he knows what he's doing enough.
He's just won a championship with a backup quarterback.
He just won a Super Bowl, with Nick Foles. I mean, Nick Foles played a hell of a pro season. I mean, 72% completion percentage is not something to be.
He made some great throws.
Joked about, yeah, and he knew what he was doing, and he commanded that offense, and just he stayed calm.
I like the RPO.
Yeah. But it was just it's it sucks because we had everything set up. I mean, Colin Cowherd on the Herd FS1. He gave his little grades of all the coaches recently that happened. And he was two that stood out to me are Patricia and Daniels. Daniels because we have Colts and he's coming here, and he gave us an A-. And only two things you could find was one, it's a little worrisome, but it's time in Denver. But two, you don't know. We still don't know the full status of Andrew Luck's, status. And I don't care who you are. The Colts are not going that far without an Andrew Luck. The fact is, the current status of the Colts, and so it just leaves me to, I mean, we had everything set. We had pieces falling into place. We got Dan Eberflus, or however you say his name, from the Cowboys.
Basically, McDaniels pulled out at the last minute and screwed us.
Yeah, and he never reached out. It was a selfish move. He never reached out to his assistant coaches who want to bring on. It was just horrible. I mean, it's pathetic, really. I hope he. I don't wish the best for him, but truthfully though, like I
hope New England doesn't score a touchdown next year. I know it's not going to happen.
I mean, if he doesn't, if he for some reason can't, get his stuff together in New England, he's done. His career's over. I hope he's got savings or something because he's not going anywhere.
I hope he's good at giving out towels and Gatorade.
Yeah, it's pathetic. So, but moving on now.
The Super Bowl was a great game.
Yeah,
right.
I think we ranted enough about the McDaniel situation.
I'm so happy. Like I know, like on most sports shows, you don't want people to be biased. I think being biased, we're both biased, but like being biased against the Patriots, I think people like that. Like as far as I'm concerned, every person, either if you're not a Patriots fan, you probably hate them.
Well, yeah. When it's that Super Bowl specifically, I personally love the Super Bowl because I'll be honest, I hate two fan bases. New England, just like the rest of America, and Dallas. I cannot stand those two fan bases. They are the worst, and they are cancer to everybody in the world. They're horrible. Maybe it's just my generation thing with the whole hate against Dallas, but the fact is they had the first great dynasty really, and maybe not the first, but they had one of the few great dynasties in NFL history.
Good teams.
Had a really good team, and between Aikman and Staubach and
Deion Sanders, man.
Yeah, they had got prime time. They had the playmaker Michael Irvin. They had Deuce, Emmitt Smith. It was a phenomenal team, and I didn't really hate the Cowboys. But the fact is now, maybe like I said, maybe it's a generational thing. But when was the last time they won more than a wild card playoff game? It was like 1999.
It was probably before Tony Romo.
It was 1999. Yeah, it was horrible, and we still hear today all the time from just the same Cowboys fans.
Skip Bayless, basically.
Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless, you're the worst.
Skip Bayless is the worst.
Chris Collinsworth. He's so bad.
Idiot. We need to get him off. He just needs this team to stop.
Why does Gus Johnson not get to call more games?
And
Am I the only person that loves Gus Johnson?
I don't get why Tony Romo should not doesn't have a chance to be put in this place. At the same time, there's so many more better and qualified and more enjoyable candidates to be put up there instead of Chris Collinsworth.
Chris Collinsworth made me want to put the TV on mute.
He's an ass. That's the only way to put it.
How much money did he have on the Patriots?
I don't know. He really bet a lot.
Every time there was a questionable call, he's like, "Oh, that's an incomplete pass. No way this guy caught it there."
And then when it wouldn't get called the way he wanted it to,
he's like, "That's a bad call."
You would just hear just gasps. He would just be like, "How is this possible?" Well, it's possible because they made the right call. Sorry, the refs weren't in favor of the Patriots one time, but man,
Chris Collinsworth is so bad.
And that just brings up a whole other problem the NFL's had for a few years now, just the catch rule. How is that catch?
It should be just if as long as he never lost the ball, as long as the ball never touches the ground.
He had 3 steps, so he was a runner. He dove and he crossed the plane before the ball was loose again. So he had crossed the plane as a runner. I don't get how that was even debated as a touchdown.
The way I looked at it was, if you had moved that play to another part of the field, not away from the end zone, and instead of him diving, he got hit and lost the ball, it would have been ruled a fumble. So therefore, it should have been a touchdown.
And he still regained it. Yes, exactly. So
and even with the Coleman catch,
Corey Clemens.
Corey Clemens, yeah, sorry.
You're good.
Thanks. But even though he caught it, the ball never touched. It doesn't matter if it's moving a little bit. It wasn't loose.
It's all about possession. And it's tough for me to understand. No one really understands what the catch rule is in the NFL. But my opinion of it was that I think that the Corey Clemens, play was a catch. But here's again the bias thing. This is kind of going the opposite way. If that was the Patriots who got that call, America would be up in arms. Social media would blow up for.
If the Patriots had got, I feel like the Clemens one. I feel like that one, since the ball never even touched the ground, I think that was pretty much accepted. He got both feet in. But if it was Ertz play, if that was Gronk and they counted as a touchdown, I think Steelers fans probably would have rioted because the same play happened to them against the Patriots and they got screwed and lost the game because of it. So.
Yeah, Jesse James was unhappy. I mean, you saw his tweet. I mean, he's like, "Well,
at least it happened against the Patriots."
Yeah, at least it happened against the Patriots. And I mean, that was a great Super Bowl. I mean, just not a single punt all game.
One punt. The Eagles punted once.
Oh, Eagles punted once.
Bud.
Sorry.
But the one thing I thought that was really weird to me was how Nick Foles and Tom Brady both played great games, but Tom Brady I swear the Patriots always had a receiver that was wide open. There were multiple plays really where he's looking, and then there's somebody standing. Amendola would just be standing, nobody's around him. I'm
not going to discredit the fact that Tom Brady's the GOAT. It's just too much. Legacy speaking. Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. I'm a diehard Colts fan. Diehard hater of...
I would take Peyton any day over Tom. Any day.
There was a time when I said
maybe not in the fourth quarter against the Saints. Maybe not. Still salty about that. But I mean,
that was, 8 years ago today? I think it was 8 years ago today.
Saddest day of my life.
Yep, it was a very, very sad day. But anyway, back to the whole Tom Brady thing. I think they could have put in Brian Hoyer, and he could have thrown for over 400 yards. I'm being real. I'm not saying that just to hate on the just to be more biased and hate on Tom Brady more because I believe. I mean, I am biased. I'll admit, I hate these teams. I love these teams.
Tom Brady didn't make any great throws.
He had Nick Foles made 10 times in the beginning.
Nick Foles made 10 throws where you're man, that was a nice throw.
That throw to Alshon Jeffrey, the throw to Corey Clemens, those two alone were absolute just darts.
Throwing it through the deep.
Dropped it right in the only spot that was
safe. He threw it to a lot of people that weren't wide open. And then Tom Brady, he's thrown it to players nobody's within 5 yards of them. Yeah. So
and
that was interesting.
There was. I mean, you could just tell that secondary for the Eagles were just gassed towards in the second half, and that's why people talk about systems. Systems don't get tired, athletes do, and there's a perfect example. I mean,
where's Malcolm Butler?
That's another thing.
Where was Malcolm Butler?
I have two complaints about the way Bill Belichick or Matt Patricia or whoever was in charge of all that. I'm assuming Belichick ran the Patriots game in the secondary at that time. One, I don't understand why Stephon Gilmore was not shadowing Alshon Jeffrey the entire game.
They let Alshon get 2
as soon as the game kicked off. I was having a conversation with my brother about who's here and who's there, and I said I would assume that Stephon Gilmore is on Alshon Jeffrey. I can't figure out why he wouldn't be. And first half he went off. Two touchdowns.
He
mossed Eric Rowe, and Malcolm Butler's still not in all of this. So
who is Eric Rowe?
They take out they take out Malcolm Butler. They move Alshon Jeffrey or Stephon Gilmore's side, and they throw in Eric Rowe on him, and he gets destroyed. 2 touchdowns in one half.
He got mossed
really bad. And then second half, Belichick made his adjustments correctly, maybe not entirely correctly because he left Malcolm Butler on the bench, but he slid Stephon Gilmore and said, "You're sticking to him." Nothing. He was shut out the rest of the half. That was not second half.
The damage was done. 2 touchdowns. That's.
But yeah, exactly. It's too. 2 touchdowns of a receiver at any point in any week is awesome. Let alone 1. And so they put Stephon Gilmore on in the second half. It wasn't enough to come back. I mean, it was just it was a dumb play by the coaching by the Patriots. I mean, not to say the Eagles had anything flawless. They had 12 men on the field at one point in the game. Mm-hmm. Late in the fourth quarter,
they did. They left Tom Brady wide open on that pass play.
They did.
They completely.
And I'll give it to them. I mean,
it was a
Patriots repaid the favor by leaving Nick Foles wide open in the the end zone, but for the Philly special. But it was just a bad. It was just a lot of coaching errors. But I loved the Super Bowl, not because of the outcome. The outcome was awesome in itself. But
and you predicted the outcome wrong.
I did predict the outcome, which I'm happy about.
My score prediction was way off, but I did say it was Philadelphia's year. Sometimes it's the team's year to win it, and it was Philly's year this year, and they won it.
I'll happily say both of my score prediction and my pick were off, but I'm happy about it because I wanted them to win, and that's the true victory right there.
That was a good time.
That's my moral. That's my moral speech for the day. But it was just it was a very aggressive coach game by Peterson and his Eagles. I mean, what was there to not like about that game? Can you come up with one thing? I mean, it was just a great game through and through.
Yeah, I really can't think of anything. I'm glad that they ruled both those catches because you didn't want to have it come down to that.
If they brought those back, oh my gosh, horrible, man. But,
I would hate to see what Philadelphia I don't know if Philadelphia would have rioted worse if they had lost. I don't know, but like if they had lost like that, where they took those 2 touchdowns back, I think it would have been like really bad.
Yeah, I agree. If they, let's say that those 2 plays don't happen and they lose, it's not going to be horrible. There's going to be rioting anyway. It's Philly and it's the Super Bowl, but
they just wanted.
If they lose because of those 2 those 2 turned over calls, it's going to be bad. There's going to be a lot of people eating horse poop rather than just that one guy. It's going to be really bad.
I don't know. I think they just light stuff on fire out of misery.
Yeah, I mean they did have some stuff on fire, but it was out of joy. So, yeah, it was a great Super Bowl. I enjoyed it, and for the record, everybody loves back to the GOAT conversation. Everybody loves saying Tom Brady and his 5 rings and his over 200 career wins and this, that, and the other and blah blah blah. He can't be stopped. For the record, everybody that refutes that argues about QB's wins, not being a real stat because it's a team sport, and everybody that is against that is the Tom Brady fanboys, the Skip Baylesses of the world. And
Tom Brady's had a great whenever they win a championship, it's because either defense or special. Other than the Atlanta play, other than Atlanta last year, 4 of his 5 rings came from either Adam Vinatieri or a lucky interception because
look at
bad
this.
Play call.
Look at this. The 5 game-winning plays. Yeah, the 5 game-winning plays they had to earn their 5 rings. 2 of them were Adam Vinatieri, field goals to win the game.
1 was interception on Donovan McNabb.
2 of them were interceptions.
One was McNabb. One was Russell Wilson.
1 was McNabb, and then 1 was Russell Wilson at the goal line. And then number 5, which not to refute that he did not play a hell of a game.
It was a running play.
But it was a running play. He just pitched it to the right, and then James White, the true MVP of that Super Bowl, ran it in. But he ran through 3 Falcons defenders and scored the game-winning touchdown. So
yeah. So the one game. I mean, he did throw for 500 yards. That was pretty good.
But that kind of goes back to the open receivers thing we saw.
He did have a lot of open receivers.
That's why I say
Peyton would have thrown for 600.
Yeah,
so
Peyton. Yeah, Drew Brees would have thrown for 700. Or you don't like that joke? Okay, sorry.
Maybe not.
But yeah, it was just another fact, but that's like a QB's win style. He threw for 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. 0 interceptions. He had a hell of a
one drop
game.
pass though.
One drop pass.
That's what killed him.
The ball was really the trophy there, and he dropped it
off his fingertips. I like how Chris Collinsworth said, if he hadn't hurt his thumb, he probably would have caught it. It hit his fingertips. It had nothing to do with his thumb.
My God. So there's a mic'd up clip of Tom Brady dropping it. Malcolm Jenkins was running over to try and recover and stop him, and he dropped it, and he thought he was gonna catch it, and he slaps Tom Brady on the butt, and he says, "I thought you had that, Tom." Tom's sitting there all frustrated and stuff, and he's laughing at him. Great Super Bowl.
Malcolm kind of killed Brandon Cooks.
Oh my God.
It was bad.
It was a murder. The police from Philly should have shown up to that game after that. That was a murder.
I saw that.
And it was
everybody,
hit
universal, everybody in the stadium went, ooh.
Oh my God, Brandon Cooks. I like Brandon Cooks. I don't have anything against him, but they lost Edelman. I'll give this. They did lose Edelman for the entire year. That sucked.
Yeah.
But they got Brandon Cooks. And there's a first year Brandon Cooks. And he's not the same role as Edelman, but he's still that same
He stretches
caliber.
the defense.
He doesn't.
He's a good receiver.
Exactly. He's not going to do all those short in and out routes, the perfect slot.
And then Brandon Cooks made 2 really bad plays.
He
tried to jump over somebody.
Oh my God! He tried to hurdle somebody, and it didn't work.
The guy didn't dive. The guy stood straight up and just pushed him back.
He just got body slammed.
And then he got
mutilated by Malcolm Jenkins himself.
He got embarrassed.
And it was a clean hit too.
His kids were probably watching that, man.
Yeah. And
God. Imagine watching that happen to your dad. That would just be so bad.
I would be horrible. I don't know what I'd feel.
I feel bad for Brandon.
I don't know if I'd maybe I'd just hide. Maybe I'd just leave the game at that point.
I don't even know if he was really hurt. I think it was just his pride.
You think his pride was hurt? I don't know.
I would.
Well, he was diagnosed with a concussion. He was out after
I wouldn't have came back in that game no matter what.
God, he was.
I would have been out.
Yeah, doctor cleared you. Nope.
Is Malcolm still playing? They're yeah. I'd be I'm gonna sit in here.
I'm staying on this bench. Yeah, that's the kind of football that everybody loves and misses. There's a lot of complaints.
You just turned around and
oh
boom.
My gosh, it was an open field hit. It wasn't something crazy like he was on some deep post route and then here comes Malcolm Jenkins and he just out of nowhere. Malcolm Jenkins was underneath him. He catches the ball like a little comeback and he spins around, kind of dancing a little too much. And he tries to come up and then Malcolm Jenkins he just turns and right as he turns, Malcolm Jenkins is there to give him a rude awakening or rude sleep, I guess.
Yeah,
not gonna knock him out.
Put him to sleep. Just yeah.
Yeah, but it was a good Super Bowl.
It was
satisfied with what we got this year. Even though I hated last year was a great Super Bowl too, from an entertainment perspective.
Yeah, it was a good one to watch.
It was fun. I enjoyed the entire first half, because it was the Patriots getting absolutely destroyed. Tom Brady throwing a pick six, and then all of his athleticism diving at that player and missing him. So 2 good Super Bowls and 3 good Super Bowls because Payne got the one before that. So I'm gonna say 3 good Super Bowls in all these years. So I'm satisfied with the Super Bowl again. Great Super Bowl. We still hate Josh McDaniels and the Patriots, and
they're still the worst.
Bring Frank Reich home.
Yeah. Right? In conclusion, Patriots still suck. So thanks for watching. And make sure to follow us on Twitter below. We're up to what, 6 or 7 followers?
8.
8 followers. That's what it feels to be popular or something. I don't know.
It's a good feeling.
We're gonna take down First Take. Probably not. But
all right. Well, have a good day.
And tune in next week.